So this video is about everything's about at the moment. I've found a few things within mental health, like virtually everything that they haven't been able to work out ever, and everything is fitting together nicely, except one thing that it's like you have to be in psychiatry or something to discover these sort of things, and the problem with that is that hundreds of thousands, millions of people get mentally ill, and there's a reason for it. It's not a it's not a lottery thing or anything like that. And I don't feel comfortable just having found it all out by accident. Bit of hard work and that. Just to accept that. So basically, I'm using this as a way to show how bad it is out there in the mental health, you know, in the industry in mental health. And it's not just a matter of being bad. It's like it's 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 gone way past that. Like feel I feel even uncomfortable not saying it. It's that bad, but I'll let you have a look at the effect. You know what, as a regular person knows about mental health, what you're led to believe, what you do believe, and it's just nothing to do with actual reality. The reality is there's no they don't know the cause. There's no therapy. People just getting fed all sorts of stuff, and their whole life at stake. As soon as you get a mental illness, even the first one, like a little kid, ADHD, which is so easy to fix and it's just so obvious. It's not even funny. Like you can barely even believe it. But you know, you've got experts there. They just refuse to even look at the illness in there. They just refuse to stop looking at the brain and things like this, and it's mental, and everyone knows that. So the point of this is something I wanted to do a long time ago, and it's called schizophrenia. And people think it's all you basically hear about mental illness a lot of the time is schizophrenia this, schizophrenia that, and reality is schizophrenia is like the smallest illness there is. It's not even an issue like the others. And whilst it's a harsh illness, like what you're getting fed is not even in the ballpark of what could be even seen, really. Like it's just total. I don't know. Like I don't know how could anyone could just like totally make something up over and over in all these different ways, not even close to being. Um, it's just not even close to being anything near reality. It's just blatant manipulation of someone who doesn't know anything else about anything, basically. And that's all of us because the system's been cut off because of a reason. You know, it's looking like that bad reason, but I'm just going to show what I'm just going to show what's there, basically. So there's the funny thing is as well, the first one I looked at, so I did this video, just before now, and it went for 2 hours, and it's just too long. I can't even cut it up and put it online. So it's a redo, and that does happen a lot. And I'm actually quite good at researching and breaking down mental illness. Well, obviously I claim to be because I'm the first person to do it, but the documentation side of things and explaining things is just something I can't do. So this is Schizophrenic Research Australia. I don't even know if it is, but it's the same wherever you go. These outrageous findings. Um, and when you know the game, the findings aren't just like outrageous. They're just made up and just attacking this one schizophrenia, small part of the world that is around the most abused as well. And it starts young, like all abuse. Like people don't wait to. How can I put it? Like people who abuse, they don't abuse once and leave it at that. There's a reason why they can't stop, and they just destroy. They don't feel anything for that person, and they don't have feelings for others because it's a disorder and they've been abused, so they don't have that emotion. And it's not a case where a kid gets abused and that's it. All physical abuse is going to affect you mentally anyway, but it's just a long, drawn out from a young age till they leave, and then they're mentally ill for the rest of their life, and it's just covered up. No one knows about it, and it's just regular. And these groups of just hundreds of thousands of beautiful people, and you're just basically allowed to destroy them. And it's got to the stage now, obviously, where it's if you it's going up fast, and everyone starts off perfect, and it's going up fast, and it's just look. I was never involved in that. Our society, the society I live in anyway, it's very supposed like friendly and that. But straight up, like the worst of the abuse against the kids is just left alone, and no one knows what to do with it. They don't understand any psychopaths and stuff like this, and mental health won't even acknowledge it. Basically, I don't think. And I'll show you by this. So basically, you've got schizophrenics. You've got what you've heard, and it's basically will be stuff like this. So it starts off. Goes back a few years, the first post, but just a lady, I'll just try and read it, but it's in front of you so you can read it yourself. So listen to Professor Cindy comments on the new study that has uncovered what one of the biological causes of schizophrenia may be. Okay, so that's biological meaning body, and so it's something to do with the body that someone gets schizophrenia, which is implying that it's nothing to do with the mind, and it's just a thing that's bad luck if you get it, and if you get it, just somehow you're you're a nut job is what seems to get put through, and we'll just go through a little bit of it. But we're talking about medical research here. We're not talking about I don't know, playing with a couple of cars down the backyard or something. We're talking about people's lives that doctors are, employed to, they're employed with maximum trust. Like a psychiatrist just has the run over the hospital, and whatever they say you're doing, basically. Anywhere under that, there's no asking above it, and there's not much of a comment. Biological, everyone could make that mistake and just forget about the mind altogether. But take a look. Got Elo use whatever her name is. What's the latest? She's just like her comment. What's the latest cure on schizophrenia? One of the most mysterious and devastating diseases known to mankind. So, who's going to write that? If it's the most mysterious and devastating disease, she knows that. So, what's the latest cure? What's the latest cure? There's no cure. There's nothing out there. The latest cure, Anyway, I'll just keep going through it. So then there's this Brian Spittles. Professor Whitkett is on the advisory board for pharmaceutical company Lundbeck and receives research grants from Astellas Pharma. I call this a conflict of interest, being on the advisory board of companies that fund that research and who will profit from any biological causes found. Did the research consider the neuroleptics and other drugs on white blood cells? Like, you don't just get a bum who wants to state that in a comments section for the public. Like, and then obviously I had a quick look at this, and then there's this guy Jacob. Hello viewers all over the world. Like this is a world finding, pretending to be a world finding, all over the world. I'm Smith Eleanor. I want to testify of Doctor that Davis Martin did for me. I was having a very notorious and serious sickness called schizophrenia and was very lost of hope. I never believed I was going to be cured until I met this great man called Dr. Davis Martin, who God sent to me to cure my sickness, and that hasn't happened before. It's just total lies. There's no cure for schizophrenia. They've never seen it. Who knows what a personality disorder looks like for starters? So anyway, so have you seen this? We're looking for people with experience in psychosis. I'm helping people with a mental disorder. This is such an inspiring TED talk, and it just goes on just with these people that aren't real, and that's how I've learned the whole of mental illness is from people who are mentally ill, basically. And obviously I'm pretty good at that after a while, but we're talking just relevant stuff that I don't know. Like they're just trying to appeal with a few words to someone who hasn't got any idea, and it's pretty obvious. Like, so then it goes to the next finding. Same day, another finding. The findings of this new study could explain 3 enduring mysteries that have dogged schizophrenia research for decades: the role of the immune system. C4 is located in the chromosome 6 region involved, the age of onset of young people, and the thinning of grey matter in the autopsies of patients. So, okay, look, well, 3 years behind this anyway, and everyone knows there's still nothing there. Dramatic genetic findings take science a step closer. So again, everything is away from the mind, a personality disorder of the mind, and there's reasons for that, but you can see I don't know if you can see, but there's never been any finding. So finding one thing that's not there and then finding it is nearly impossible, because you can't find it if it's not there. And then just to repeat and over find that left, right, and centre of something that is certain in fact when you're finding something. Yeah, I just don't know. Like, just don't see how there's not like a regulation to at least say you've got to show some sort of burden of proof, and you can't just be bringing this out every day. And then you've got, another. I found chromosome 6 gene that my son and his paternal uncle share that is identical, which is confirming that it's a genetic disease, like whatever else is genetic out there, and then it goes gas, science, but sigh for the utterly shameful, inability politics of universities and research. This could have been done 5 years ago. So we've found that now we're already at the stage where we're looking back saying we should have found it even faster. And it's straight up it's like this magical thing that comes out every day, even that people read. The thing is all solved. Everyone's put any worries to rest, and what happens is what's happening. It's just going up at extreme rates, and the reasons they're going up are not because just little bits and pieces. We're talking sickening side of psychopathic and worse abuse against children and women, basically, and there's no way around it. Like, I can't even benefit of the doubt sort of stuff, like looking on the bright side, positive. It's just so far from even being close to that. It's not. A load more people that aren't real. Look, obviously pumping a lot of money into research that doesn't exist, and then people pretending to write all these things down, and then you know, I've seen them from America, I've seen them from Australia. I haven't been looking for them because I don't go looking for just like crap. I was actually doing something, but the latest issue headline: catch up with latest schizophrenic research news. Okay, I'll just leave that because it's just a blank picture. Donate to Schizophrenia. A journal asks our researchers to guide the conversation around schizophrenia research by getting them to a guest edit issue, guiding future research. Okay, that's nothing over stupid, but and again the comments. My daughter, 31, has had diagnosis of schizophrenia since 14. I've had lots of results with 6 to 8 hours of creative therapy per day. Just in case anyone wants information on this, I do myself at home, so that doesn't exist either. I don't even know what that is. Creative therapy, 6 to 8 hours a day of creative therapy. What's that going to do with voices in your head? And then just this one, like, how many personalities have you got? 13 things not to say to a schizophrenic. Or 14 things to say not to a schizophrenic. And, you know, I'm pretty sensitive. I wouldn't go saying certain things to a schizophrenic. And you yourself know as a person, know not what to say and things like that. Like, you know, you might every now and then put your foot in it, but when's the last time you met a schizophrenic in the first place? None of us meet this weirdo that they say is out there, because just not they're just not even close to the mark. If they obviously this is where they get treated, so they do have to you know, derive what they're saying about people from people. Like in the end, and that duration will never be made, and not even anyone on the planet can act like they're talking about here. So you don't say how many personalities have you got. Okay, that's, you know, look, no biggie for the blind mind. Have you ever been arrested? Are you a bunny boiler or crazy animal in bed? You're so brave, inspirational. This is so schizophrenic. Ha ha ha. I don't really think mental illness exists. Oh, you do mean actual work. You look schizophrenic. I'm a bit mental too. I can tell my hay fever is a disability. You're unwell. You just need more confidence, exercise, fruit. Okay, so you don't say those things to whatever. Like they're not going to care. Like can't get any in much worse state. They don't. They don't go off no matter what. You know, it's just all implying absolute. You know, we're not talking about being racist, even like you know, someone with a biased attitude and stuff like this. We're talking about manipulating a situation on purpose to deceive people against someone that, at the end of the day, they're not treating that they're claiming to treat, and it's like tripled over. Like, and these are the people that the schizophrenics are the one that get. They're the ones that get the forced medication because they're on the antipsychotics, and it's disgusting. Antipsychotics, they shouldn't be allowed to exist. But you know, look, it's up to them. Like, it can stop the voices a bit, but you know, you still want to kill yourself on antipsychotics. Let's have a look. Does it go any further? I made it to the end. Okay, no worries. And you know, doctors talking shit about their patients, like you know, even the worst of that is way before my time. Like anything weird that ever went on, and to go back down that road, like and whilst obviously it's a general thing, like it's obviously a worldwide problem, but I just can't fathom it. Like, at the end of the day, I found every one of these causes wasn't even that difficult. If you ever even so basically, there's with something biological, there is a genetic. You can have genetic factors, and you might get cancer off the bat, and that's what they refer to. But so for 50 years now, they haven't even seen an inclination that that could be the case. They're still going after it, and we're talking just mass 99% ignoring that the child abuse. So people turning up early with mental illness at a young age, straight back to the family, get back out there, boy, and it's basically you know what has happened from the disorder because certain abuse causes certain disorders, and that's just the correlation's just too strong to miss that as well. So just go through. Okay, now we've got another picture of the brain. By studying structural differences between schizophrenia patients with and without experience of hallucinations, researchers. Okay. Schizophrenia patients more prone to hallucinations. Yes, you're saying that obviously no one knows about it and they can't. I'm not going to say anything, but it's got nothing to do with schizophrenia. In the future, a cup of tea may be just what the doctor ordered. Okay, so reduce the cognitive impairments associated with antipsychotic induced obesity. So they're trying to do you a favour by helping you out off the stuff that you don't want to be on, and it's just like a cup of tea. No worries, it's all going to happen, and it's impossible. And then obviously this person, she keeps writing the same post every comment, and at the end of the day, like, who looks at it, who's commenting on it? And it's just people that they've got employed, and no one else is commenting on it. That it's because no one else reads it. You just read the headline and you read a bit of a picture, and after a while, because you assume they're going good, you see the results, everything's clicking, and in your mind you just keep processing that, and sort of the most talented, gifted people in the world that at the end of the day are zero. You might as well not even have them there, and when they start going the other way and abusing like they are, like, I understand. It's just beyond me. I'm just saying what's here, and that's for someone else to decide. Like, obviously, I'm not going to promote it, but I'm not going around deciding everything. This is already way too much. But investigators how digital tools can assist people with mental disorders. Again, something physical. Just drum that into everyone's brain. As a former ambassador of the Sweatshop campaign, Bondi lifeguard Matt D has been a lifelong supporter of mental health and suicide. Sorry, better not. Suicide prevention. New research suggests a link between childhood trauma and psychosis. Interested? Read about it more here, and then straight to neurocognitive markers and psychosis disorder, schizophrenia. Obviously, the former theory on schizophrenia still holds true. Schizophrenia actually used to be called child abuse disorder back in the 60s when it was a little bit more real. To protect the parents, they probably took it off, but I'll just keep going quickly. People intuitively think mental illness have spectrum ranging from mild to severe, yet most people do not know what it feels like to hallucinate. Okay, so most people intuitively think most mental illnesses have a spectrum. So a disorder is a disorder. It's the same. So it doesn't work like that at all. And who cares about hallucinations? Don't relate it back to the person. Prolonged exposure to stress in childhood has the potential to cause schizophrenia. So yeah, stress of the kicking in the face type stress. Yes, that's a stress. My daughter got schizophrenia, a part of a happy family. So I think normal happy homes are also affected. Trying to create that. There's kids that are in there and they're showing up and their parents are as good as guilty once this comes out. Third of children experience voices. Yes, like doesn't matter if children thinking in their head. Doesn't mean schizophrenia. They're just trying to blase this thing over. At the end of the day, it's the rarest one, and it's not just because that's the only one that's been reported. Yeah, like borderline and the other ones is just raping of women, so that's even more obvious. But what leads someone to switch from psychology to neuroscience? The desire to understand the causes of schizophrenia, it seems. So yeah, they jump trades to 4 year degrees, like at the drop of a hat. So probably that's never happened either. And I would have got some New York City marathons. We're doing marathons now on mental illness. And schizophrenia is the hardcore. Supporting someone you love with a mental health problem can be challenging. I am sure Ishii could tell you that much himself. Okay. My illness does not affect my relationship. I have schizophrenia and he loves who I am. He loves you suffering and guts out of yourself. That's great. As we are part of the schizophrenia research program under Professor Russ in South Africa, it is done with Rockefeller University, USA. My daughter has marvelous results being busy and creative at the age of 6. Creative at least 6 to 8 hours a day. Actually, unbelievable results. She's on high dose meds for drug-resistant, disorganized schizophrenia. Now cooks, cleans. Okay. Like. Improving how children feel about themselves and others may have a knock-on effect for their future mental health. Yes, except if you ignore them and then don't recognise anything, and then mind that a little bit. Obviously, when it comes to therapy, it's going to do nothing because emotions have been damaged, and emotions don't get fixed by just talking about them and just feeling it like that way. And protecting kids' mental health schizophrenia research institutes. Protecting kids' mental health schizophrenia. Okay. Called inflammatory drugs prevent schizophrenia. So hopefully I start bumping my head up against something hard soon. And I'll just quickly keep going through them. We've got to get through this. If you know anyone thinking of dressing as a mental illness for Halloween, okay, like, oh, good. Like, we're not being positive here, we're just being fucked. 5 post-mortem studies have helped schizophrenia. Professor Sydney said there won't be one cure for schizophrenia, so how do you make that the evaluation when you still haven't even seen it and you're looking in the wrong spot? This is just stuff that people can just put in their head. A combination of treatment may be the answers to schizophrenia, including treatment such as BT program we offer in Darlinghurst. Ella says her life began after she was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Okay, so she had no one had any idea. She had voices in her head. Please. Okay, okay, you can grab those two women, as long as I don't have to. Whether an illness affects your heart, your leg, your brain, it's still an illness, and there should be no distinction. Okay, so let's just say, as long as there's an illness and it's not the mind, then we can talk about it, because it's like a hard shift of trying to move people into an area that's, I don't know what you do if you're totally out of the area. Like, you got to come back and do the dishes and things. Like, just be honest. Obviously, I had a simple life. To anyone considering working with young people, a study called Recovery After an Initial Schizophrenia Episode found that people who are provided years of coordination, special care in community clinics had a great quality of life. So, more positive. Study suggests a new way to treat people after the schizophrenia episode. Like, you can see my dad just up and down to the toaster making everyone breakfast and things like that. Doesn't work like that for these poor buggers. What do we got here? So, is that? So there's a little bit of an intro into what it's really like. Okay, continuing the video, I'll just go over a couple more of these research sites. What have we got here? Schizophrenia support community. Okay, so pills. $15 raised for students with schizophrenia. So raise $15, big deal. Do you know child dies from malaria every 15 minutes? No, I don't know that actually. More pills for the schizophrenics. I think there's injections I get anyway, but what are you grateful for? Okay, let's just go and know this one. Why do you see people with schizophrenia? Why do they see things? What are you talking about? Voices. They have voices in their head. Okay. National Stress Awareness Day. So forget stress. We're not having stress. There's no stress schizo. Sleep deprivation or a change in sleeping patterns can be diabolical for mental illness. Okay. I don't know how that's going to hurt your emotions. Getting a little bit tired. Maybe after 1,000 years you might get a bit of depression. 3 things to say to yourself when you're struggling. Give us a look. Let's see if anyone gets any of them. God's got this, so you don't want to say that. Praise the Lord. Could be anyone saying it. Schizos sometimes get a bit too into it. What does it feel like to have schizophrenia? Again, if you don't know what it is, what are you doing here? Why do you care? Sometimes your presence is the gift you can give to a friend. I don't want you to save me. I want you to stand by my side as I save myself. Okay. So, just irrelevant. Like, why are they? People don't say that. Like, break the stigma and share to raise awareness. If I could just get over it, okay. Really, after being abused, you don't say that. Having a mental disorder isn't easy, and it's even harder when people assume you can just get over it. No one's assuming anyone getting over schizophrenia, I don't know. It's just annoying to have to go through this, to tell you the truth. And I don't even have a mental illness, and nothing annoys me. Very, only complete idiocracy without any thought or feeling for others, and just you know, and then masking yourself in that same spot that you're saying you're not. Like, I'm telling you, I wouldn't take that. You know, I've taken some shit, and it looks like I'd take anything, but let's have a look at the next one. I already know it feels like there'll be nothing. Schizophrenia versus schizoaffective. Schizophrenia affects an individual's way of thinking. So, like, if you look at it, like, schizophrenia is a chronic and severe brain disorder. So obviously that's never been seen. So affects individuals' way of thinking, yes. Emotions, yes. Behavioral patterns, yes. This is mind. This is mind. So, and a long time ago, everything was mind, and there was a couple of little bits sticking out. Now it's gone mind, and then they still slip in the old stuff, so they know it. They still remember it, but anyway. Chronic mental health condition by symptoms of schizophrenia and moods. Let's just call it schizo till we get on. Tips for managing schizophrenia. Okay, people don't do that. They don't manage it like that. I'm not even gonna look at it. All right, we kept talking there. Let's just want a little bit more. Okay, and maybe one quick one. Look, who would want to be treated like an absolute idiot? Like, doesn't matter who you are. Like, especially if you're implying that they're violent and short-tempered and things like that, which they should be if they've been haven't been able to develop emotionally in a few things. Like, but go and clearly you're not even in the game, but so you're not affecting anyone. But to go to that effort is just disgusting. Like, you gotta look at the kind of person that could go to that effort. It's not going to be a natural cause and effect. Someone can, start going on with stuff like that. Well, you don't have 55 ideas, completely the opposite of what they should be. If you haven't got intentions that basically mean, like, I can't put it strong enough to tell you the truth. Like, okay, so that's your. So I saw. I went straight to this one that was called study research. Sorry, research. every page it was, I'm not a monster. Like, no one's calling you a monster. Who's, who says that? Like, you don't put yourself in negative and then have to defend yourself against it. That's just the state of things. You know, everyone knows they try and jump on a defenseless boy and throwing your arms out, like trying to convince yourself by saying it a lot, even though you're not. Like, I don't know. Like, I thought it was actually going to be better quality manipulation. Like, obviously, I was aware of it, but God, even subject to hearing this is disgusting. I'm not going to sit there without a pillow. Anyway, so where are we here? Okay, schizophrenia research, support, neuroscience news, Institute of Mental Health, brain behaviour. No, it's not it. I'm a, I'm not a monster. Basically, I was getting them to run around saying, I mean, it's clear there's no conversation going on with schizophrenia here, so it's their own shadow. So just moving over to the groups where this is where I did all. This is where you can do research beyond anything possible in the real world, even, and then just to not do it and then go the other way. You know, like what's the cause of a certain mental illness? What's the cause of a certain mental illness? Don't ask the person. Um, you know, like correlations and things like that. They're not like how can you put it? They're not like new. They're not like, oh, maybe let's have a look at that. They're like, there's certain things that you do take care of before you go on a 50-year witch hunt. And well, you know, it's never been seen in anywhere else before. I'll just go through quickly. It's just the fact that I just did open this up before I started the first talking. Yeah, maybe it was all in my head, but it was a strong correlation to whatever was on the outside being in the group as well. And then, you know, it's already bordering on disbelief a billion times over, but then to infiltrate a group, I don't see how else would, although I just refuse to believe anyone's part of it. I can't believe anyone's that stupid for it to just be a natural effect. It's just like, I don't know. At the end of the day, you know when you know what you know, and the results show it, and what I've done shows it, and then all the stuff that they that has been right in the past, having to disconnect that, you know, you're talking in the squillions of billions, no chances. Just forget it. It's just straight up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe anyone could be like that. Like, it's not a state of mind. I'm not. I don't even want to look into it. I know it's that not possible. But as long as people are aware of it, as long as people can put one and one together there, and I don't know. I can't see a role. I can't see a role where mental patients are better than the abusers at that job, psychiatry, and their potential is way above, because they do understand abuse at least. And I don't know. Like, I'm not the boss. If I was the boss, it wouldn't even be a decision. It'd be like just shooing them out the door, like not even respect. Like I don't see where it, you know. There's a line you can break. You can't just totally have a whole career, like, have a whole profession. Like, you know, it's not, obviously not everyone can be, you know, starting it, or not everyone can. But when you've got research refusing to switch on, at least, like, there's no chance that they can justify it. Like, the stuff I've got, like, within 2 years, like, 10 people I could get it to document the whole thing. They can justify what they can come up with, like, in a line or something. Like, you know, we're talking about smart people all day being able to think all day, all day, all day, and coming up with nothing. Like, and we're talking like piles of them. I don't know. I don't care that they blew all the money or just wasted everything. And when you're just stopping the kids, like, getting well, you know, providing a full blanket. No, couldn't be a toxic mother, couldn't be a psychopath. This not even taking a stab in the dark. Like, even stabs in the dark, you'll get one. You'll get one or two. It's when you refuse to go near what you know is. I don't know why. It is what it is, though. You got to keep that concept in reality. You know, you got to walk around certain mental states to be what is, sort of thing. So can't just like, you know. like minimum, if it if there's whatever's a billion and a half, no, minimum, the 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 solution would have probably put 600 million, like just as a minimum, just by being so just blasé, and I don't know. Look, someone had to put the sirens in the middle of the road. Someone knows about it, so like I was a child myself and went through just being able to share and small things on a higher level of psychiatry than what's going on. So, when people have got careers in there, mass amounts of people with careers in there, you're going to get to the right answer. Like, I didn't have any inclination to go where they went, so it is because it is. Probably feel more comfortable really discussing it, not in public view where I can actually deduce an accurate account of what happened and people don't get offended because what they did is the offence, not me. But anyway, here's this prick. Yeah, last night I had a dream about my childhood. Love, I still, look, even a psychopath though, with the dumbest, I haven't met a dumb one, but like we're not talking anything in the bad category like psychos and that. Like that's so rubbish. Like that'd be like a psychopath with a bad self-esteem because they just get so bad at manipulating. Like it's like just I don't know. Like can't be. It's not manipulating unless you at least get to a level. Like, the fact that you're just talking shit, it's just growth. You don't see a personality to it, basically. Like, you don't see, any human emotions there. Like, that could be a normal person just treating something as sensitive as its own mental illness with the respect that another person, once bitten but not twice on the same night, basically. So that comes up to there. We'll just keep going a little bit further. Oh, there's a girl. I think it might be the same one. She's about my favourite woman at the moment, trying to give up smoking while sucking a good ciggy in the face of everyone, it feels like to me. Maybe all she needs is a bit of clean air to be able to move, and the rest will take care of itself. Is often a good, often all I need. That's all I need. I didn't need anything. I never touched anyone. I didn't need psychiatry to just go berserk and then refuse to believe that I have a partner. That's true. Like, mentally ill suffer a lot, I guess, from. I guess the real psychos who are responsible for this is humanity. Mentally ill suffer a lot, I guess. The real psychos who's responsible for this is. For the real psychos who's responsible for this is humanity. I think he's worded it wrong. Not illness, you guys are obvious to the fact you all keep on chatting about pain and crying here. Okay. Right. Maybe that's abuse, saying it like that. That's just clearly not right. This is for all who struggle with their nightmares and mental illness, all forms. You are stars on earth. But there is only one Rocky, and that is Stallone. But his inspiration to the world and who struggle are Rockies. Please help these special people. So you don't call yourself special people. You don't post your own posts even now that I think about it. And, well, you can't do nothing with it fucking, if it's nothing. Like, when you're nothing, you've hit nothing. If you acknowledge nothing, then that's a boost to their ego and they'll get what it deserves. I'll keep an eye out. Don't you worry. Okay, back to Kurt. Many of you are being diagnosed with a mental illness as I am typing this my breakfast buffet of meds. Okay, sounds fair enough. Meds. Good luck getting her in the corner. Meds. I managed to keep a job working. Actually, there was one I remember that might have been that one. Man, the stress. So sorry, I'm lacking a bit of energy for your day. Ooh. Like, I know I already know about it, but actually, do have to show you. You know, I don't know, you can see that there's there's no psychopathy or anything that resembles schizophrenic being manipulative. So, just their answers are going to be, if anything, very accurate, and I'll just back up to them and have a good chat with the boys in, like, actually one of the more frustrating, probably because I haven't slept for 2 days, but one of the more frustrating states that I've had to deal with. Nothing makes me lose concentration like clearly is you know, I can't be that offended. Like, I can't be that offended. I gotta wait for him to drop his personality on me as well, so probably won't be feeling that great. Let's get into these groups. Let's just I'll quickly run through the different so schizophrenia is the heavier physical abuse. The emotions are a little bit more on the fear side, and the voices on the loneliness side, and the friendship sort of stuff. Whereas and the voices, the intense trying to process, trying to have a mindset where you have been abused, and now you're thinking in a way that puts it back on you, does bring your mind, obviously your emotions, into a poor state, but it brings your thinking where you're thinking out loud. You're trying to get through this. You're trying to get through something that you can't when you're young, and then you've got that mentality, and you do you want rid of it because it's so disgusting, but at the same time it's part of you. It's just going for a piss. You probably hurt yourself because you just it'd feel like you're getting niggled by your own emotions all day, and like obviously there is a chance you can undo them a little bit, but I just can't express long. I can't express hard enough. Like I seen Jakey go after the bit of cheese yesterday, so I know he's heading that direction. That's good, and yeah, I'll stop him at every point. But yeah, okay. Anyway, let's go through this. I'm looking for the email. Sorry. Got a few posts there. There it comes. Alright. I don't know if I can look at those big dots too well, but here we go. Here we go. Discovery. Sorry. Okay, just for the hell of it, we'll look at borderline first. So borderline is mostly girls, but the men do get it as well, and maybe some of it is a human instinctual stuff, but it's a lot of like dependent stuff. Like get raped, and I guess they just tend to just stay at that age. Like they always say that they feel like 14-year-old or 12-year-old, or it's like that happens to a woman, but like I'm not going to sit here and say anything about how a woman should handle herself. Obviously, obviously you've got to consider that you're going to be suffering for a long time. That maybe therapy is the way to go. When that therapy is not there, or when it's masked, so you can't get that opportunity. I just feel that's like unexcusable, and that's what cruelty was already had. The state of cruelty doesn't reduce when you aren't as cruel, but when you've got layers behind before even safety can get to a child, and then you're wondering why everyone's going to get ill. Look, people, people are smart enough to at least get hair on their face, and then I think anyway. Like, anyway, I can't even keep my eyes open. So borderline. Okay, how many here suffered from abuse, physical, sexual, neglect? Okay, it's just their responses show that it's been since birth. That that bit wasn't um, it wasn't discussed as a look on the table, and I do tend to not discuss things with her, and I know the partner so well, and they do seem to have an interest in the bike, which is fine, but um, okay, physical, even the word emotional abuse, it's a word, and yeah, so well, let's just go through. It's got to be done. The story's nowhere near as good when you're not sure if they still even get abused that way. So just to be sure, okay, we're up to the line. Up to the line's a good page. It's that small, and let's just quickly run through it.
The schizos. It's actually important now that I finish. Okay. You ride the you ride the bike on the lower part though, don't you? You don't take it up the hill.